Can we get a Mr. Robbie, Mr. Phoenix update? What's your favorite underwear brand? Can you do a new filthy Q&A with Lance? Now that's a good question. Oh, hello and welcome back to my channel. We're actually finally getting to do a Q&A, and this Q&A is actually a Q&A where I'm answering the questions from the people that subscribe to my Instagram. So all my Instagram subs have been the ones that have asked these questions, and we'll dive right in. I have been asked a lot of different questions around retirement and all that kind of stuff, so I've kind of like narrowed them down into what I think could be interesting, and I hope to do a video with Lance again very soon as well. So I'm just gonna wait for that. So the first question is from Carrie. He says, what dishes made the final cut for your menu plan this week? Now that's a good question. I've got on my thing basically nachos but made with potatoes instead of like actual nachos, with like turkey mince and stuff. Then we've got a salsa verde chicken, a fish pie. At Trader Joe's they do this like pre-seasoned chicken, which are really good, with some crispy Brussels sprouts and rice. I've got chicken curry, which we had actually last night, and then I've got pasta and meatballs. That's what's on the menu this week for those interested. Next question is from Cindy, who says, can you do a new filthy Q&A with Lance or a new husband tag video? We really love those. Yeah, of course. I mean, those are kind of fun. I like those too. So when it's time to do those again, I'll ask the Instagram subs what questions I should ask, because I also want to do like a Instagram subs like control my day thing, where like you choose between two things and kind of like decide where my day goes. That will be happening soon. Heather says, can we get a Mr. Robbie, Mr. Phoenix update? Lance too, what's everyone up to? Okay, let's start with Lance. Lance is getting lots of work done. We're like figuring out the house and figuring out what all is to be done. We kind of have been renovating recently, and I'll do a tour soon, but we've still got a little bit of stuff to do in the garden. Lance is currently working on some water. He put in like all the water irrigation for the plants around the house. I mean, he's a pretty handy man. I don't really know how he does it, but like I'm just like, yeah, go Lance. So he's working on that, but then also working on a few different projects, which I can't really actually say too much about, but exciting stuff, let's just say that. Robbie, he's great. He's in first grade. He's loving it. He's having lots of fun, growing way too quickly. He just finished the Titanic Lego set, which it like blows my mind because it's like an 18+ set with 10,000 pieces, but he has like the patience and he's able to do it way better than I ever can. And then Phoenix, he's coming up for 20 months now, and he is getting so big. Like the words that he uses are really quite funny. His favorite at the moment is more, and he says it like that. And he loves cheers. Every time he has his drink, he's cheers. But he's really sweet, and I think he's gonna really love Christmas this year as well. So I'm super excited about that. Next one is from Fernando, who says, who are your all-time favorite drag queens? I don't know why that took so much effort to get out. Top 3. I know Katya will definitely be up there, because I just find her sense of humor so funny and like stupid, but it's like great. RuPaul is obviously one of my favorite drag queens because she's amazing, but then I don't know if you mean like if she's just like obviously she's in the top, but then you've got Katya, I love Trixie, and also Willem. Those are like my top 3, I would say. Also Sacha Colby. I gave you 4. Actually, I just gave you 5, but those are my things. Marion has asked, have you got plans for Christmas with your family in LA? Yes, I do actually. My cousin Sam, his wife Casey, and their 3 kids are coming out for Christmas. So it will be kind of chaos, but it will be a lot of fun. And then Sophie and Liam are coming out 2 days after Christmas through New Year. So we'll have a full house, but it will be fun to have some familiar faces around. And it's nice to be able to spend time with your family like that, because now when people come to visit in LA, we actually get to spend a lot of time together, which is nice. Next question is from Mark. What's your favorite underwear brand and color? Good question. Obviously, other than the MWL Made with Love collection, I do like the red brief. That's like my favorite. It's also like the softest, because I also find like there's lots of different underwear brands, but you always want to find one that fits you good and it feels good. So that's why I kind of created my own, because I was like, you know what, I've got a boxer and I've got a brief. I tend to wear briefs, but you know, sometimes I'll wear a boxer, and the material that I've made them out of is like my favorite. So yeah, if you want to check them out, they're on buytomdaily.com. The next one is from Meg, who says, show us your most recent whip. Now, annoyingly, my most recent whip is, I just finished it. It was like a red square mohair cotton situation, and I finished it when I was on the plane on the way over to my exhibition in Japan. And I finished it there and I wore it to the opening, and then they put it in they were like, can we keep it for the exhibition? And I was like, yeah, sure. So that was like literally my most recent whip. And then other than that, I haven't started anything again yet. I made a bucket hat on the plane, and I also made like a little tiny cardigan for my little new nephew, Ruben, which I'm super excited about. I don't know what I'm going to make next, so we shall see. Next one is from Meg, who says, do you have any specific plans for your YouTube channel going forward? And no, I don't have anything specific, but I also am looking into some new social media help to be able to like figure out content plans and what we can like do with the channel at all the different social networks. So I'm working on that, and that's going to be, and I'm looking forward to kind of having a little bit of purpose back with my YouTube. Like I'm going to do vlogs, going to do Q&As, going to do all that kind of stuff, but I also want to be able to, you know, come up with different actual like ideas, not like a show, but like something that can be fun where it's a new exciting thing for me to get involved with in YouTube. So we'll see. So watch this space. Joanna says, do you still think you might get your Olympic years put into the Olympic rings and your Olympic rings tattoo? So for those of you who don't know, I've got an Olympic rings tattoo here on my arm, and because there's 5 rings and I did 5 Olympics, putting inside each of the rings the year that I went to those Olympics, I don't think I'm going to do that, because I think well, maybe I will, but I don't think so, because I think just the Olympic rings is like cool, it's chic. Like putting too much stuff in it, like that was like very much a 10-year-old idea that I had, so now I just need to like keep it plain, I think, because otherwise it gets a little bit too much, and so I just want to keep it simple. Robbie has asked, if you could have 5 dinner guests for dinner that were inspirational to you, who would you invite? Greg Louganis, he's always been an inspiration of mine. Diver extraordinaire, arguably the best diver still to this day. Jonathan Anderson, I just love his work, and I'd love to pick his brains more about knitwear and what he's done with Loewe. I think it's incredible. So I would invite Robbie, my son, because the way that he, like when we have dinner, like parties at our house, when he's involved in them, it creates like such an interesting dynamic, because he asks some great questions, things that you wouldn't even think about or feel like you couldn't ask, but because he's a kid, he asks them anyway, and it's like really sweet. So I think I would definitely invite Rob. And he's inspiring in his own way, because he's someone that he inspires me to try and be better every day. So I would say Robbie. I do think I would invite RuPaul, because RuPaul for me is such a fountain of wisdom, as well as like has such a great outlook on life, and I think that would be really inspiring to be around. And maybe Oprah, because again, same thing, inspiring, has great outlook on life, and be able to give advice to be able to get the most out of every day. So yeah, so Greg, Jonathan, Robbie, RuPaul, and Oprah. David has asked, can you tell us about any of your plans for 2025? So I have some really exciting stuff coming up in 2025, but there's some things that I can't really talk about. There's some things involving TV, there's some things involving Made with Love, there's some things involving knitting and TV work, and maybe a little bit of diving, but not diving me, but like diving, like getting involved still somehow within the diving sphere. It's kind of one of those things now in retirement, like I don't really know what comes next and how it's all going to be in the next few years, but I'm also really enjoying the chance of being able to spend more time with the kids, work out regularly, and just be able to have a nice chill life-ish, because it's still so busy and I'm traveling a lot. But I'm hoping to then start doing some YouTube videos with workout, well, not necessarily YouTube videos, I'm going to do like workout videos for my Instagram subs. So yeah, I'm going to start filming those soon, and hopefully get one of those out a week, which will be nice. Sunny has asked, do you plan to expand the market of your clothing brand? Chinese fans want to buy. Yeah, I'm hoping so, and actually soon I should be able to start launching Made with Love in China, which is very exciting. I've been working on it, getting it going out there, and there's a few hurdles to kind of like jump over before getting it all to work, but you know, I want to try and make Made with Love and my knitting journey like as accessible to everyone as possible, because what I've got from knitting over the last few years in terms of what it's done for my mental health, mindfulness and calm, I would love to be able to pass that on to as many people as possible. You know, lots of people already knit and crochet, and they've been doing it for years, and they understand how good it feels to be able to do it. So I'm just hoping that I can work on passing that on to other people as well. For beginners, would you recommend learning knitting or crochet? Which one is easier for you? Well, that's a good question. They're both difficult and easy in their own ways. And I think whichever one you start with is always going to be a little bit fiddly to start with, but once you get it, and you can go, and you're off to the races. I mean, I started knitting first, and I think it gives you a really good understanding of how the mechanics of it works. But crochet is, I guess, might be slightly easier. But once you learn, the hardest thing is figuring out how to hold everything in your hand. And once you've got that, you've got it. In a way, I guess crochet could be slightly easier to learn first. But I think once you learn how to crochet, you might not then learn to knit. Whereas if you learn to knit, crochet might be easier, so you're more likely to learn it. You'll learn both. Next one is from Night Owl. He says, now that you've retired from your professional diving, do you enjoy Cheesecake more often. Yes, I do. I do enjoy. Well, actually, I haven't had cheesecake for a very long time. I need to go for a visit to the Cheesecake Factory. But the thing is with the Cheesecake Factory, every time you have your starter and main course, or even you just have a main course, whatever you eat, you're always so full by the time it gets to cheesecake. Like I just never get around to eating it. So I feel like I should just go there specifically for the cheesecake. I should get to baking them again as well because I love cheesecake. Oh my god. So I should get back to that. Hello _nasty. It says, what is your favorite houseplant? The funny thing is, living in California, the houseplants can also be outdoor plants. Outdoor plants can also be, well, actually not necessarily all outdoor plants can be indoor plants, but like all of the plants that I would have in the UK as an indoor plant because it gets too cold in the evening, like they can all survive outside and they just randomly, and I feel like it's the crazy thing is about like a succulent, like they just survive anywhere. Like you just find in California, you find succulents like growing on the side of the roof, and you're just like, how is that alive? Like how is that managing to survive? But it does. So it's very fertile here in terms of like growing things, which is actually quite nice. Although one thing I would recommend is not leaving strawberries and watermelons unattended over summer, because they definitely die when you don't give them enough water, obviously. Well, there we have it, the first Q&A in a while. We'll do more soon and I'll get back into the swing of it. But also let me know in the comments or like tag me in what you want to see from the YouTube channel and what more you want me to do. But for the meantime, thank you for watching and I'll see you soon.